This is a project based on experimenting and combination of M sand, copper slug, and beach sand in concrete. My name is PREM KUAMR, and my team members are GUNA, FAZIL, Ibrahim, and this project was totally guided by Mrs. Sangeeta. Okay. Main objective of the project is that day-to-day life we use resource more, and natural resources are depleting, so alternative resource has to come in instead of the natural resource. So this project concentrates mainly on that, and it involves combination of copper slag, M sand, and beach sand. And talking about beach sand, it cannot be used as a normal aggregate, normal fine aggregate. So in order to in order to fit in beach sand as a fine aggregate, we use cleaning resources like removing calcium content and salt content from the beach sand. Okay, first, we take M20 and M30 as our main design aspects. M20 is where we did not cure the beach sand. We did not cure beach sand, and M30 are the cubes where we cured the beach sand, and we used it in M30. Okay, we replaced as much as sand as possible, up to 40, up to 100%. First, we take three conditions: P1, P2, and P3. That is, P1 is fine aggregate coarse. P1, P2, P3 all are fine aggregate. In that fine aggregate, P1, P2, P3. P1 is copper slag, P2 is M sand, and P3 is beach sand. So main methodology is taking design M for M20 and M30. Sand part of mixed design is replaced by copper slag in P1, and vice versa for P2 and P3. That is in table column, it will be clearly explained. P1, P2, P3 copper slag, M sand, and beach sand 50, 25, 25. And P2 we reduce copper slag, we increase M sand and beach sand. In P3 we reduce copper slag, M sand, and increase the content of beach sand. This is a methodology graph. We collect materials and we study, and we did an initial test. Mixed design will be of M20, and curing we did of 7, 14, and 28 days. We compared the pH values of beach sand with pH value of beach sand with the normal sand. We did curing. We cured the beach sand like dissolving in water for 7 days and washing it thoroughly until the water was clean, until salts were removed. Initial test results are a specific gravity of cement we found out by a normal procedure. OPC 53 grade was taken, and cement setting time was 10 hours, and initial setting time was 30 minutes. Fine aggregate we used M sand, beach sand, and copper slag, as I said previously. M sand of 2.62, copper slag of 3.62 specific gravity, and beach sand of 2.5. Properties of fine aggregate. We did specific gravity, fineness model, bulk density, and water absorption test. These are the results. And coarse aggregate specific gravity test, so it came 2.7 as normal. And mixed proportion was like this: M20 1 meter cube for 20 mixed proportion for 1 meter cube, kilogram per meter cube. Cement was 1.47, fine aggregate was 2.21, and coarse aggregate was 4.37. Mixed proportion without salt content, that is M30. As I said before, we took two conditions of M20 and M30. in M20 we did not remove sand from we did not remove salt content from the sand, and M30 we remove salt content by using curing processes like curing the beach sand, like washing it for several days and keeping it in oven for 300 degrees Celsius in order to remove the calcium content and other type. Trial mix was like this. This is the taper column. Result was we got two good value of copper slag and sand, and we got two good value of copper slag. That is copper slag was added 50% in that case, and slump cone was also good. Compaction factor was also up to the mark for three conditions. Flow table test was also up to the mark by normal conditions, but for other condition it varied a lot. Compressive strength, this is the main this area has a main aspect in our project, because this decides the result. Cross section area was 2500, which is normal, that is 150 into 150 into 150 mm cubes. Compressive strength was 9.5 mm for 7, 2.2 to 24.4 for a second, and 28 days it came 34.9. So this is the graph for compressive strength. In this condition it was totally of M20 in salt content in beach sand, because we concentrate more on beach sand. In India still not in procedure to use the beach sand, so we try to implement that we can use beach sand, but it costs more. UK, China and other Philippine uses beach sand as their main aggregate, fine aggregate. Without salt content in beach sand was M30. The result varied, but not that much. So results are that 50% and 25% in the maximum compressive state came in 29 days of copper slag, as I said before, and in beach sand, which was too high in 28 days, and everything with beach sand came higher. And copper slag is mainly obtained from the dry waste. While collecting copper, it sticks on the copper ore, that is called copper slag. And it's slightly decreased without salt content for beach sand for beach sand. We learned how to remove. Conclusion is that we learned how to remove salt content and calcium content from the beach sand. Copper slag obviously increases the strength because it has properties of fine aggregate comparing to M sand and copper slag. Copper slag gives more strength, and M sand also gives more strength, but copper slag a little bit 0.2-0.3%. Copper slag is the most alternative resource sand, and addition of a beach sand has another approximate for concrete. Also, beach sand is approved and research is totally completely. Only M sand has got the name of full-fledged. So we must consider our research. This was our project, and we thank you for listening it.